Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the final word. Southampton 2, Everton 1. Another shit show is definitely the word of the week. Another absolute shit show.
Is this video sponsored by OneFootball?
It will be in a minute.
It was crap. You know what? I read on Friday, first time for a while, I haven't been confident of a game. I just knew we'd get beaten the red. Paul Mason's thing, I thought, what's the prick saying now, right? Yeah. Everything he said was spot on about the game. He went 2-1 Southampton. I thought, for the first time, I just thought, he's right. Because Everton have got loads of good players, going to play like a team.
Yeah.
Nothing, and Southampton will just work hard, and he said their hard work will overcome Everton, because you don't know what you're getting from Everton, and he was absolutely spot on.
He was. This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball app makes it easy to keep up to date with transfer news, scores and stats in one place. To download the OneFootball app, click the link in the description. Thank you very much. Yeah, same team again.
There was nothing wrong with that though, was
No, which is fine. I was just going to say that was fine. But I don't know. I'm with you. I had no hope. I did a video with Freddie from the Ugly Inside last week, the Southampton channel, and I just said, score, draw. I just don't see us getting anything, especially away from home, when I know the opposition needs something out the game. Do you know what I mean? It's like if I know the opposition are going to fight, then I think we're done. Because for me, there's no fight in this team, and that's what hates me more than anything, right? Is that I look at this side and the bare minimum is 11 players who go out there and want to win the game, and I don't see that. You know, this word's getting thrown about, patience, right? About the manager and about the players. Hard work does not require patience. It does not require patience. It's the bare minimum. It's the bare minimum from every single player. But for some reason, as a football team, as a manager or a coach, it's like you're asking them to go out there and try and create a style of play without actually putting any hard work into it. And that's what annoys me more than anything about this football team, is that Allardyce was on yesterday, and I'm not asked, don't really want to talk about it, but he said there's an arrogance about the fans. No, there isn't an arrogance about the fans. There's an arrogance about the football team.
He said the section of fans, didn't he, apparently? I know, I'm just saying.
But there's an arrogance about this football team and this manager, right, that think that they can turn up at football grounds or at Goodison Park and beat the opposition by some footballing masterclass. Well, number one, we don't know how to play football for a start, and number two, that still requires hard work that we're not prepared to put in as a team. And sadly,
that's what that at the manager.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do put that at the manager. And listen, not being funny, it's nearly February. The first thing you imprint on a team is a team that's willing to work hard.
Work hard till mid-December.
Well, maybe we did. Where's it now? No, we didn't. We
didn't work hard against Liverpool.
That was the last time I seen this team work hard.
Okay.
That was the last time I seen this team work hard.
I thought we worked hard against Watford, but we were crap on the night playing football.
I do not see any single person prepared to run through brick walls for this team. And that goes especially people like Seamus Coleman who run the mouth telling everybody what we're supposed to do, and they don't do it. That is the bare minimum I expect from this football team, and that's what will turn fans off before anything else.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you. No, I'm not, because one of my 3-point thing on Saturday was no desire, no fight, because we haven't got any. No. We are, I've said it before, this is the most talented, football-wise, talented squad we've had, probably, maybe even in the Premier League era, right? Talent. But there's a thing up in Finch Farm that fucking tells you everything you need to know. Which was hard work beats talent, and it's proven, because we do not work hard enough. Now, we did work hard enough. We were all raving about them in November, how we pressed, we were the hardest working team in the Premier League. We We were. But in the last 4-5 weeks, 6 weeks even, that's been forgotten. And I put it in the midfield. I literally dropped this in the midfield. Gylfi Sigurdsson, great goal, lovely little finish. I don't know where he was for the other 92 minutes. Garner, don't know where he was. And Gomez, now Gomez couldn't pass water at the weekend. If your midfield three aren't playing well, and not one of them is, you struggle as a team. Like they had in their midfield Romeo, who again looked like he'd ate everyone's fucking selection box over Christmas. Ward-Prowse, who's, let's be honest, bang average is the best thing you can ever level at him. And they just ran past our midfield. Like the goal, I know we'll come on to it, but his goal, Ward-Prowse, he hit it well, the kid, don't get me wrong, but... And there's your engine. We've got a captain who's not a captain. Despite I'm 100% wrong, because I said in the start of the season he's the one that should be the captain because he's like this. Well, he's playing garbage at the moment, and he doesn't do. What does he do as a captain? Does nothing. He's great on a Monday at shouting sound bites like this morning or today. This is what we have to do. And hell, mate, you wouldn't be anywhere near my starting lineup for a start. We've got Zuma, who you can understand why Chelsea put him on loan every year. Because he's got great attributes, not consistent. Michael Keane's gone back to having a bit of a nightmare. The goalkeeper's having an absolute nightmare. Makes a wonder save in the first half. Lets the Dean goal run past. Just at the moment, they're all got bits. Richarlison, what is he at the moment? Whinging, falling on the floor. Or like Bernard's in and out, not consistent enough at the minute. We've got Lookman, who's brilliant at going by players, but then disappear. The whole team are all good footballers, but at the minute, they're not doing the one basic element that any good football side did, or any average football side does. What was the one thing we had under David? I'm sorry if I'm harping back, but the reason why I used David Moyes' Everton side is because it was built on limited funds. The one thing you knew at Moyes' side, alright, it wasn't every week, of course it wasn't, but if there was 1 week where it was a lack of effort, 7 days later it was never going to be lack of effort. We still mightn't have won, but you knew that they'd had a right good go. On this side, the minute they go behind, you just go, that's it. Because you know they're not going to battle and fight.
That's the problem though, isn't it?
What was it, 2 in 4 minutes again, or something stupid or whatever?
There's no heart, there's no desire. And I don't know if you can give that to some players. I don't know if you can. If they're not up for it, if they're not up for a battle. We've been beaten now by Brighton, Leicester and Southampton in the last few weeks, where we've gone a goal behind, and that was it. That's the game over. Yeah. And it's for me, that's the most upsetting. There's no...
And believe if Bournemouth would have scored last week, that'd have been the same.
There's no belief, there's no fight, there's no cohesion. What is there? What are the...
But the reason why... And listen, I'm not saying Marco Silva's faultless, because he's no way he is, because this formation should have been binned a while ago when it wasn't working either. But if he's seeing them in training and they're looking sharp, and then you go out on a Saturday and they put... Alright, where the fault lies will be what team he picks this weekend. And if he picks the same kind of 11 with the same formation, then it is on his head. But I just think, for me now, I would play Mina every week, right? And let him grow into because the other two are inconsistent. Keane's been great all season, but at the weekend, he wasn't great. And Zuma, I don't know, he's brilliant 1 minute, and then the one where Gomez hit the post, that was him trying to pass out, just kicked it straight at them. We were under pressure. Just basic stuff. I don't know, I'd change that. I think I'd go 3 at the back. I would, and just check. Coleman's not good enough to be running up and down the pitch.
I mean, the formation is not working. The formation is not working. Whether you like it or not, or whether the players are exhausted or whatever, the formation's not working. We don't seem to have any idea of how to break teams down. We just go side to side, and this formation just allows that to happen. Whereas, I don't know, 3 at the back or something could just change things up, freshen things up.
It's too slow.
Well, we are, but that comes from that. I mean, that's again, that's the midfield. That's the centre of the midfield. That's, you've already mentioned it. The passing was a real problem on Saturday. For a passing team, we're terrible at it. We're terrible. And I know, listen, The upturn in form came around the same time Gomez got into the side and broke into the side, and he was a breath of fresh air. And he's tailed off, and on Saturday I wanted him dragging off before they scored the first goal, because he was just getting the ball, and it was getting caught on. And when he first came into the team, as soon as he got the ball, he was in energy. He was moving the ball either with his feet or himself, and he's a big, strong lad, so he's getting himself between the ball and the player. Whereas the last few weeks, he just ambles round, and he doesn't seem to be able to. Doesn't seem to have that physical presence to stop people from taking the ball off him. Last few weeks, every 50-50 he's lost. He's just ambling around the pitch, and it just gives us no outball in midfield, someone who can just keep the game ticking over. That player is supposed to set the tempo, and how can he set the tempo when he's just ambling around the pitch, when he's got no tempo himself? And I think
you're right, because when he got in, he'd carry the ball, he'd go past 3 or 4 players like they weren't there, and you were like, oh my God, what a player. The last 4 weeks.
See, I mean,
and he's probably knackered. Well, I don't know. Listen, someone asked me something yesterday, and I just said, he might be tired, he needs a rest, and someone come on. They only play 90 minutes a week and all of that shit. But at the end of the day, you have no pre-season really.
No, that's what we've said. We've said that in recent weeks, haven't we? Your pre-season is where you get your energy stores for the rest of the season. It's where you build up your fitness. He hardly played last season as well, let's not forget. So maybe it has caught up with him, but then that's the club.
That's the manager.
Why isn't
that's when it's on the manager?
That's where surely that's on the manager in those months, in December, when we said to go, Tom, you're in today, and it doesn't matter. Because we said this,
change the formation.
I think we said this. But I think we said this against Brighton, didn't we? I think we said, what's the point in carrying players you're tired when someone fresh could come in? When you're like, it's like the thing last season with Rooney. It's like, why are you playing him every game where you know he's only going to last an hour, and then you change him, and for that hour he's not going to do anything because he needs that. He needs that freshness. So maybe that's the case with Gomez now. You say Tom starts coming in for some games, whether people like it or not. It doesn't matter. We've got to start freshening up in the middle of the park. James McCarthy, he's another one. It's about time. He should start on Saturday. He should start instead of Garner and say, right, or with Garner or whatever, and say, right, you're fresh. As a fan, I know when he's fit, he's a decent player. You've had plenty of time now to get over this injury. You sink or swim now. And
you're playing because it's January. And if you look at him and go, he's not going to be what I need, you just get him out. Because someone at Celtic will take him on loan. Yeah. So you're giving him the opportunity. Window. Of course.
It's a shot window.
And if he does alright, you go, no, we're not getting him.
You've got to start utilising the players that are in our squad. Last year we were moaning that we had this huge squad. I know we still have got a huge squad. Most of them are on loan or whatever. But start utilising it. Because players, whether you like it or not, or whether you agree or disagree, or you think it's an excuse, the performances are there on the pitch. Whether you just think, well, actually, he just shouldn't be playing because he's been shite. So put him in, put Tom in, or put James McCarthy in, or do something. It's not working. The formation's not working, and we're just slow all over the pitch. But when we try to change it, that's not working as well, because if we try and go long, we've got a kid up front that is not number one, doesn't win anything in the air. Alright, last week against Bournemouth, we've seen he won the second balls when we had someone close to him. But you can clearly see, and you can see this on Saturday, that he's fed up now. He's fed up of just chasing shite all day. Whereas he wants to be the kid who gets the ball and runs at people. He wants to be the show off, because that's what he is. He's a bit of a show off. He doesn't want to be doing what he's been doing, and I appreciate
what
that.
I'd do if he's gonna stick with the formation at the moment, right? Which then maybe take Gomez out, put him on the bench, let him just recharge his batteries, go with Gylfi and Garner, and I'd have Bernard in the 10, and I'd play Richarlison back wide, and then maybe just throw Dom down the middle and just go Tosin, whatever, and just say to Richarlison, pick the ball up and run. Because he'll work hard. He always works hard for Richarlison, I think so. But he's fed up now. He's not doing. Well, he's not. Yeah, he can learn a position, right? And you could go leave him because he'll grow into it, right? But do we want him to grow into that, or are we looking anyway to? It depends what the plan is, I suppose. If the plan is to get to the summer and buy a specialised top striker, then there's no real point in carrying on with Richarlison down the middle, because Richarlison isn't going to play down the middle. He's going to go back left. You may as well play someone like Calvert-Lewin, who, alright, he's not good, he's not great, but he's a young lad learning the game, and he might become great. But he'll also grow with the games, and then he becomes your number 2 or whatever he does. Playing Richarlison when the main plan for him is to go back to the left isn't really going to make any difference. So that's where it needs freshening up.
Yeah, because you've seen that on Saturday, because we've got onto playoff. We've got nothing to play
on. Then two come on, and then two done nothing.
No, I know.
That's the frustration.
It is the frustration. But first half was just.
Listen, first half, the one bit of good football, we've done the best move, I think. For us,
good move.
Not for them.
Good move.
They put a couple of lovely little moves together, but the reason why they put lovely moves together was it was quick. It was bang, 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 and a shot, and we were pass. But we done a lovely little move with a Ademola Lookman shot block. But we moved the ball quickly, and he couldn't get near us, and yet we didn't do it again. And you're like, that's the blueprint.
Well, it reminded me of last week where first half, and we do this all the time, we don't take care of the ball. It's this idea of when we try and play safe, it goes side to side, and when we're reckless because we're playing forward passes. But that shows you that you can play passes forward and be careful. You've just got to make sure that people are moving into space and you're just taking care of the pass. Whereas far too many times we get the ball, and because we don't take care of that first pass, then we don't beat the press. And it's just, that to me, again, that's coaching. That's why and again, I know what you said before, you could be doing that all week in training, but if the intensity is not there, then
it's on the players though as well.
No, I fully blame them.
Because I look at our players, and you look at like Bernard's so clever on the ball, and he wants to move it, and the amount of time it goes, and we stop it, and then it's stopping. You see him like, move it quicker. Gylfi's another one for Gylfi wants to play it, zip things off quickly, but it'll go to the Charles, he won't keep it, or Gomez will stray with the ball, they don't all seem in tune, and that to me is poor, because as a group of players you should have that core thing in your mind. He trained all week and played, so you should be saying to each other, listen, before you go, listen, let's zip this around.
But again, that comes from moments of play. That comes from doing things in training that you take on the training pitch, triangles that you've worked on all week, third man running. I don't see any of that. I don't see anything that I look at and go, well, that's straight off the training pitch. That movement there, he knows to give it to him, and when he gives it to him, he knows he's got someone running around the back of him. I don't see any of that. I just see players on the pitch basically like rabbits in the headlights. They just, when the game starts,
I think it's confidence.
Well, partly it will come down to confidence, but confidence is great, but what's the manager done for them? All he's done to them is come in with a fresh idea and gone, run round for me, lads. Just do what we're doing.
Well, yeah, all right, okay.
But you know what I mean?
No, it's just that, everything I'm hearing is that everyone.
But is it? Southampton
really good?
But if Southampton got better players than us,
no.
So their managers come in and he's identified what they need to do to stay up. He's looked at it and he's gone, look at that's Southampton. What about Man United? Right? Man United were one of the worst teams in the Premier League for the amount they run. Solskjaer's come in and identified it and gone, you're all good players, but you're all lazy. That's why Lukaku's on the bench.
Yeah, but they've took that on as well, haven't they?
No, that's what I'm saying. So he's come in and identified that, and give actually the players probably what they wanted. And there's energy now in that team. There's energy. Maybe it's the wake up call. Maybe it's the wake up call where players actually
be a watershed.
We look at each other and go, "This is not acceptable." Maybe the manager now will go, "This is not acceptable. I've got to start doing things."
Well, hopefully, Moss has been on the phone today and just said,
manager might say, "Well, I've got to start going with gut now. I've been going, I've got to play him because of this or play him because of that." Maybe he'll go, "You know what? I don't."
What I'm saying to you is, it can go the other way.
Of course it can.
But you're right. I mean, if Everton lost the next 3, then obviously there's massive questions need to be asked, massive questions of where we're going with it. But I just think, regardless of who the manager is, I think the issue's going to be if we were to change him again.
No, I agree.
Right, that'd be 5 man. What's the point? Because that means no one, anyone of any note, and this is why Eddie Howe didn't want to come in last year. No one gets any time. So what's the point?
You just become Sunderland.
Well, that's what we're going.
You just become a conveyor belt where you're right, where no manager wants to come because no manager thinks he's got any time.
So realistically, what I would say to people calling for Silver's head is we should have just kept Allardyce, because we'd have probably finished 7th.
Oh, Martinez?
No, neither of them two. But Allardyce, yeah, because Allardyce would have beaten everybody else outside the top 6. Everybody. So we'd have always finished 7th or 8th under Allardyce, and that's what people want, just results, not bother about how we play or whether we improve. So
I'd like some results.
No, what I'm saying to you is, and I'm not, regardless of who it is, I don't know how if we were to change Silver, I don't know how we'd ever move forward because there's no guarantees.
No, of course there is.
Marino's the best manager available at the moment. He's just being chased out of Old Trafford.
No, of course there isn't.
So I honestly don't know what
it takes. Lots of different pyramids.
It takes patience with a manager.
Well, as I said from the get-go, hard work doesn't require patience.
No, it doesn't, and you're right. And it is the manager. It's also the players. I see people giving players free passes every week.
None of them deserve free pass after the weekend. They were all shite.
They haven't deserved the free
all
pass.
All shite. Not they haven't deserved it.
But they got it.
They're all shite.
The whole thing is it's devastating, because in November we looked like we were going somewhere. We looked like we were on the crux of something. You know, we could just get one.
The only place we look like we're going now is Quest TV.
They do fly on the walls. It'd be good if they did. Maybe they should do one. That might get them some viewers. Who knows? We need to start winning.
We do need to start winning.
Good goal by Sigurdsson. Nice finish.
Yeah. Nice one. Oh, that was the other thing, right? Just very, very finally. Do you know if we'd scored, we were 2-0 up and someone had scored against us in the last minute?
That should be gone.
They were very, very comfortable.
If we were 2-1 up. Oh, to be fair, Bournemouth done it, but I suppose us and Bournemouth are the worst teams ever to get a corner in the 98th minute, because you're never going to score from it. But if imagine us at Goodison 2-0 up, 98 minutes.
Do you know what I would have done? I'd have let Pickford take the corner.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. He's the best dead ball player we've got. Yeah. I would have let him take the corner.
Who took it? Was it Sigurdsson?
It was Dean, wasn't it?
Dean, yeah. Didn't beat the first.
I'd let him take it. Yeah. I bet he would have whipped it right. Well, might as well have. He was up there anyway. What's the difference?
Yeah. What's he in a box for?
No, he's smaller than anyone else. I would let him take it.
He's not smaller, but I think he wasn't a bit. Yeah, he should have took it. Yeah. He'll say to Dean, get on the edge of the box. When it gets headed out, just volley it.
Yeah. See?
Just that confused them. Pickford jumps over to take it and be like, shit, what's this?
What's
as opposition, you'd be thinking, why is he taking it? What are he doing? Yeah. You'd be on edge, wouldn't you?
Don't have this. I need to sort that out. Anyway, if you're still watching, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Something's got to change. Players got to get themselves sorted. It's as simple as that. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Click the bell for alerts, and if you want more great videos, join us over on Patreon. We'll see you later.